Morning. We are heading outside of Class Manager for today's Facebook Live, and we're just going to show off our sister company Stage Stubs, which is an online ticketing platform, one of the simplest, one of the cheapest. And as we approach the Christmas period, a lot of us may have shows or events which we're going to invite more of the general public to. So Stage Stubs is a fantastic way to get that out to people with a nice, easy way to take ticket sales. So just to begin, I'm going to start off by creating an account. We're going to go right the way through the whole process. If you are catching up on a replay, we'll leave the timestamps in the comments as we usually do. But I'm just going to go through from start to finish and create a couple of different types of events. I haven't actually set up a Stage Stubs account since I set up my first one, so I've just been refreshing myself, but it is quite simple. So head to stagestubs.com to get started, and your region will automatically be detected down here. So if you're in a different part of the world, your currencies and prices, etc. will reflect accurately there. But to begin, we can either sign in if you're existing or hit create event, because there are two types of accounts on Stage Stubs. We are either a seller of tickets or a buyer of tickets, and in our case we're going to be the people selling them. So as we progress through the website, if you aren't already logged in, when we try to create an event, it's going to ask us to create an account. So I'm going to go through that process now. And I'll have to just put an extra number on my email address. So make sure this is all your business information, just so that everything goes to the right place. We call this Class Manager Studios, and obviously set a nice safe password. In this example, I'm going to be super QWERTY. And then marketing, emails, and terms and conditions. The terms and conditions, privacy policy, all that stuff, as usual, is at the bottom of the website. So if you do want to read anything through here first, absolutely. The FAQs, quite handily, are split into event organisers and ticket buyers. So you haven't got to trawl through all the wrong kind of questions if you are an event organiser, and similarly for your customers when they are buying tickets, if any of them want to check out some FAQs, then they can see the ones that are there for sellers as well. But we're just going to hit create account, and then we're straight in to the dashboard. There's no waiting, nothing to download, nothing needs to be approved on our end at this point. You are straight in and can check out your dashboard. When you've got events pending, the top one will show here. You can also get through to your past events. If any of your tickets need to be refunded, the purchaser will contact you, and then you have the say of whether to approve that or not. And then there are other settings where we can add bank details, tax information, marketing preferences, all that sort of stuff lives in there. But I'm going to go straight through and talk about creating an an event. Now, there are 4 types of events that we can run in Stage Stubs, and that's because they can be either free or paid for. And in regards to the seating plan, they can be general admission or a seating plan. So you can combine any of those things together. Something can be paid for and general admission, it can be free with a seating plan, and all those things can combine into 4 different types of events. So in this first example, I'm just going to create a free event, and we'll just call it Rob's Test Event because I'm feeling super imaginative today. Now, your description field will actually grow as you put more text in it, and you do have a few options as to how to format the text. So it's not just going to be a little boring paragraph. You can put some headings, bold and italics underlined in here. And I'm just going to put a very short description and say this is going to be awesome. And if I slow down, I'll spell words properly. So let's put that in a heading, bold, underline, and then just say honestly it is. And I want to take that off the heading. Oops, I'm going to make it on a separate line. There we go. So you can see you can just change your paragraphs independently of one another if you want to have more of a description there. And then we need to put the address of where the event is going to take place. So I'm going to stick to my closest theatre is going to be at Landau. Oh, it's found it straight away. So you start typing the name of your event venue, and chances are it's going to find it straight away. If the address search doesn't find yours, you can obviously add the individual information here, but for me, I was lucky and we got there straight away. And then the cover image, this is your excuse to jump on Canva. We all love an excuse to jump on Canva. The actual dimensions of the image are displayed here. If you don't have an image, you can use an image library of placeholder, sort of royalty-free images. You click through until you find one, but obviously almost all of us will want to create our own on-brand image. So we'll just stick that lady with the headphones there for now. And then some really important stuff, but this is where I geek out a little bit, because we can really control who can buy tickets, when can they buy tickets, what kind of things are available. Obviously in this example it's a free event, but on the paid one this is where we have these settings as well, which we'll go to in a second. So we have the option to password protect the event. Be really imaginative and just say password, and also to schedule ticket release date. So one of my favourite things about Stage Stubs is being able just to get that whole job done and online weeks before I actually would usually have to worry about it. We used to do ticket sales as printing off the big sheet and then sitting the night before guillotining them into squares and putting them into piles and making sure they're in the right order. Yeah, none of that ever again. We schedule our ticket release date usually for a Sunday morning, just so that we can give the customers the option to stay in bed and purchase their tickets. So let's put that on. Let's just move into January at 10 a.m. So there's an option to also limit our tickets per customer. Not everybody does this, but I know plenty of people who do. So if we want to stop that one family from purchasing 50 tickets straight away because they're bringing every extended relative they can think of, then we can toggle that on here and just say it's 3 per customer. Now, obviously, other people are going to count as individual customers, so there isn't anything preventing mum from buying 3 tickets, dad from buying 3 tickets, Auntie Jean from buying 3 tickets, because we won't know that they are related people. But this is just one way that we can control how many customers can purchase a ticket, or in this case get access to a ticket. And then we can also choose the close off time. If it's okay for people to buy tickets right up to the minute, then by default we have the ticket will close at the show start time. But if you want to have a little bit more run up so that you know exactly how many people are coming, maybe you have to do certain setup at the theatre, or everybody gets some sort of thank you for coming little trinket or gift bag, and you need time to get those sorted out, then you can close ticket sales anytime before the actual event. So I know we've just chosen ticket release time here, but this would be the tail end of that when it closes. So I'm just going to choose 2 hours before the event. Then we are nearly there. We just need to add the dates of when the show is actually happening. So as before, we can just choose, I'm going to stick it on the 2nd of February, and we'll do a 12 o'clock showing. So once that's added, we now have different ticket types and varieties of. So this one is where we need to think about what type of seats, if it's a seating plan. If you don't have a seating plan, it's general admission, then you haven't got to worry so much. But this is where you could add maybe your, let's say, premium seats and your standard seats. You can tell us how many of each of those you have. So maybe we've got 50 premium seats and 100 standard seats. And then within the ticket type, we can also have variety or variation. So that could be something like adult and child of each one. I'm kind of blending my examples a little bit here because again we're talking about a free event, so things like premium, child and adult shouldn't make a difference in a free event, but just to show you that functionality is there for when you do paid events. And once we save that, we just see a little summary here, so we can see exactly how many of which seat and then how that is divided up into different types of tickets. If the show happened again on another time, we could just add the showing here. So a lot of us will do the same show maybe 3 or 4 times in a weekend, usually 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday. Some people do a nice long Saturday. Obviously it varies from place to place. But once we've got to the bottom of that page, we're kind of there. So you can choose to save your progress if you need to come back to it. Maybe your image wasn't right, or you need to go and check with the theatre about what their seating capacity actually is. Anything like that, we can just save it and come back to it later. We do have a little preview here, which is just going to pull in the image that we chose earlier on. And as you can see, it fills the rest of the page with the sort of colours from that image. So if your branding is all bright purple and blue, then that's the way that the page will look. So it looks very on brand for your customers, and we can see this is where the description lives. The map of the theatre is displayed here, as is the event, and then a link back to your profile. And we can also see that people can't access the event without the password. So I think earlier on I set password like that. No, so because we're on a unpublished event, obviously there's no event there because we're in preview mode. But when you put the password in for real, you'll go through to being able to purchase tickets. So let's give that a test. If we just head to edit, all the information that we put is there. And if we wanted to change anything, we could. So I'm just going to come down here and hit publish event. Now it might take just a second to launch that, and there we go. So the bells and whistles that come with Stage Stubs, there's some extra things that we can do here, and I've found these really useful. I've actually used this for people who have done favours for the dance studio. So in an ideal sort of business to business world, we would be selling some of these opportunities, but I've been using mine as thank yous. So we can add advertisements to tickets, and let's see if we can just preview that. Yes, we can. Great. So your Stage Stubs ticket will go through to your customer with a QR code and the details of the theatre, what their seat is, what time show they booked on for, all of that stuff. But we can also use this space at the bottom to add either 1, 2, or 3 adverts, and we can see the dimensions of each one that's required here. Just a great little way of making some more revenue at your shows if you want to sell that advertising space, because every single ticket is guaranteed to have an advert on it. As I say, I've been using mine as a thank you to the guy who came to fix the boiler while his daughter was in acro class and those sorts of things. Electrician that came and did a few lights for us while his daughter was having a musical theatre class. So you can use it either way as reciprocity for people that have done good deeds for your community, but going forward, it's a great opportunity to make some more money and to sell that advertising space to anybody who would like it. So that is our advertising side. Let me just see if I can get back to making another event, because I want to show you how we do a paid one. So here we have create a paid event. Now we are going to get asked to create or connect a Stripe account here. So I'm going to have my little Blue Peter moment, because I already do have a Stripe account that we can use for this Stage Stubs test. And while it whisks me away, I know it's going to start asking me for a bit of personal information, so I'm going to just hide this over here. And in the background we have the Stage Stubs knowledge base. So we can click through to here and we can see all the different articles about things like our scanning assistant, So I know I'm jumping ahead now. When we are scanning people in on the door, the owner's Stage Stubs app, which will be back on Android very soon, it will have all of your details, how many tickets you've sold, the revenue that you've collected, and if you are asking volunteers through your community to help you with scanning people in, obviously you don't want them to be walking around with that metric on their screen right in front of them. So there is an assistant scanning app that will allow you to get people to scan guests into the theatre, but they won't see any of the revenue. So just on this other page, I'm going to add my email address for my Stripe account. And it's going to text me a code. Actually, you know what? I don't have my phone. 1 second. There we go. Always like to try and be distraction free, but actually need it this time. So my little code to get into Stripe. And it's just logging me in now. So on this page, it will confirm your address. So yeah, here it is. It's confirming my address. I just have to say, yes, this is the business that I'm choosing. It's giving me an option to add another business if I wanted to. And some more personal information pops up here. Just confirm I am the person I say I am. And bank details. And then agree to terms and conditions. So if you've used Stripe before, it's very standard. It's just asking me to confirm that I am Rob Howarth and this is me. And there we go. Once I clicked confirm, so it was 2 things I had to do on the Stripe website, and then it pushed me straight back through to Stage Stubs, and here I am. So in this case, we're going to also show you how to do seating plans. So let's just put Rob's other test event, and then say this. Oops. This is also going to be awesome. Let's put header 3 for that one. There we go. And as you can see, you can make this as big as you need to type in. Now, the difference between general admission is tickets are sold, and once the number is reached, no more tickets will be sold. But with seating plan allocations, the customers will get a seating plan of the theatre, and they can click to select. They'll be able to see the different seating types. When the seating plan is created, it's created on our end by our team. All you have to do is send us through a PDF and a nice clear image of the seating plan of your theatre with any notes or descriptions that you might want. So, for example, at our own show, we reserve the first 2 rows for people who are unable to go up and down stairs. So we just have a little note on there that says, you know, these are accessible seating. If you are able to take stairs, then please book from sort of row C backwards. And we can make that clear with the wheelchair icon or different colours, those sorts of things too. So seating plan details, you can just type them in here. So I'm going to just put this as a test for this example anyway. And then pricing details as well. So if you do have different areas of the theatre where certain seats are going to cost more, certain seats are going to cost less, you can put that in here as well. And then an actual diagram of the, let's just put our webinar template in there. There we go. So it would be your seating plan, any instructions and details that we need to know to create your seating plan. And then again, I'm going to just pick on Landau because they're my closest college. And the cover image again. So you see, very similar whether you're doing a paid event with a seating plan or a free event with general admission. A lot of the details that are requested are the same. So let's just search for, let's be boring and pick the very first one. And as before, we can password the event, we can schedule the ticket release, we can still limit the number of purchasers, and we can still choose at what point do the tickets close. So let's put 24 hours, and then we'll add another showing. Let's make this one, stick it on March the 2nd, and we're going to go at 2 p.m. Why not? So that's going to be me for now. If we hit save progress. So there's a second part here where once we have received your seating plan and created it in the system, you will get the approval of it. So you'll get a notification to say your seating plan is ready for inspection, and from that point you can either say yes, it looks perfect, or no, actually something needs to be changed. So before we can go ahead and finalize that event, because of the seating plan, that's where we would come into that. So let's just go back to my first test event and just have a click around in the dashboard just to see. So orders will live here once people have either purchased if there's a payment or signed up if the event is free. We can also review ticket scans so we can see who did or didn't attend, and then there will be different levels of reports if you want to be able to download for whether it's accounting purposes or just to track trends. We can see all of that stuff here. And then, as we mentioned earlier on, there is also advertising. Now, we head back to our success steps. We've talked about ads. Your events are quite easy to publish to social media. We just have to copy the link here, or you can share it through to Facebook. Personally, I like to link my Stage Stubs account to a countdown timer on the homepage of my website. If you haven't got a website, that's absolutely fine. You can just direct people to stagestubs.com/your company name. And if it's too early to buy the tickets, they will see a live countdown timer happening right in front of them. And obviously we can share direct links with the customers too. Now I'm going to skip through here and just have a remind myself, was there anything that I needed to show? I think on this occasion we can call it there. Let's just have one more look. There we go, that's what I wanted to see. So the countdown time of the event is quite far off still. But it's that simple, it's that quick. A Stage Stubs account can be set up in a couple of minutes. If you've already got a Stripe account, you can link it straight in. If you don't have a Stripe account, they're also relatively simple to set up. You just need a bit of company information if you are a limited company, and less so information if you are working as a sole trader. So that's it for this one. I hope you guys have found it informative. If you have any questions, feel free to drop us a message. On the Stage Stubs knowledge base, there is loads and loads of information, and as usual, in the bottom corner, you can also chat directly with the team right here too. So I'm going to sign off for this one. Hope you found it helpful, and we'll see you next week. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.